Hello all and welcome back. I hope everyone is doing really well. This video is going to be covering a major update for something that is looking to pilot on Hedera very soon, and something that I covered in a video sometime last year. It is going to be an absolute game changer for cryptocurrency. As the title has probably given away, it is to do with decentralized recovery. First though, let's take a quick recap of what we've been seeing across the markets. Interesting tweet here from Plan B. One day you wake up and see a Bitcoin at $100,000 without any important news or events, and 200k and more. Some will say it's a bubble, others realize Bitcoin transitioned to the next phase. Of course, as well, we're now around 10 days away from the Bitcoin halving taking place. Whether or not you are a believer in that actually dictating market cycles or not, historically we have seen around halvings, the altcoin sort of seasons or Bitcoin blow-off tops, etc., all market phases effectively occur. And we're getting very, very close to that happening again, the Bitcoin halving that is. Goldman Sachs, Citadel and Citigroup alongside UBS have been added as authorized participants for BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETFs. These things just keep driving more and more volume in terms of spot Bitcoin purchases, and potentially will further drive the price forward, particularly as we see more and more capital flow into these markets. I've touched on those in several different videos, but they are still gaining a lot of attention. We've got the Ripple CEO predicting the crypto market cap will double to 5 trillion by the end of 2024, and of course is very, very bullish. I'm pointing this out more so in this video just to emphasize the fact that not only are we going to be seeing certain projects, of course, perform very well, and you'll see some fade out of, say, the top 100 and projects come into the top 100 and shift around. Also, we're going to be seeing capital, fresh capital and equity enter the cryptocurrency space. The overall market is on an uptrend as we continue to see adoption moving out into the future from retail and institutions alike. And of course, we've seen major headwinds in institutional adoption via things like those Bitcoin spot ETFs. Speaking of Bitcoin, we've just hit $72,000 and Ethereum has been marching on and past 3,600. As we've mentioned before, I'm sure many of you know, we tend to see Bitcoin and subsequently Ethereum as the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap move first, and then we'll see a rotation into altcoins. And unfortunately as well, as Bitcoin tends to surge towards its all-time high, it will suck liquidity from the rest of the cryptocurrency space, and you'll see everything bleed out against Bitcoin until Bitcoin achieves those blow-off tops. Right then, that's kind of a market overview. Let's do a deep dive quickly into some Hedera news, followed by a little bit of the news surrounding DEREC or decentralized recovery. Interesting thread here from the hbar Foundation, which I think very nicely summarizes DeFi on Hedera and its journey so far. So DeFi 1.0 marks a pivotal moment in the evolution of the blockchain, establishing the early building blocks for a flourishing ecosystem of peer-to-peer payments and bank-like services from outside the traditional financial world. Between 2022 and 2024, DeFi 1.0 on Hedera was all about laying the groundwork with fundamental building blocks for financial empowerment, and this was via wallets, DEXs, staking, fiat on-ramps, and liquidity. Wallets form the backbone of DeFi 1.0 with the likes of Hashpack app, Blade Wallet, and Walla Wallet, all playing a pivotal role in this early market. These wallets empowered individuals with full control over their finances. DEXs then, like SourceSwap Labs, hbar Suite, HeliSwap, and others, flex the efficiencies of the hash graph, enabling users to trade digital assets via AMMs and smart nodes with best-in-class speed and predictable low fees. HTS, hbar on-ramps such as MoonPay, Banksa, and Transact have been integrated with the Hedera DEXs alongside the wallets to enable retail hbar and HTS onboarding. Network staking empowered users to help then secure the network, whilst liquid staking with Stata Labs enabled users to secure the network whilst participating in the DeFi ecosystem, increasing the overall capital efficiency. Ensuring the Hedera DeFi ecosystem wasn't siloed, the Hedera native bridge Hashport network connected Hedera with multiple other networks, the likes of Ethereum, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, and more. As we move towards the next iteration of decentralized finance on Hedera, we are still focused on boosting the overall liquidity and improving access to Circle's HUSDC. This will ensure all building blocks are in place for the next wave of adoption from both retail and institutions alike. And of course, many of you that have been on this journey as me making videos on Hedera and of course seeing it grow, decentralized finance has gone through leaps and bounds, and I've done videos on pretty much every single one of these different infrastructural pivotal moments that we've seen come through. And of course, the next wave will be just as big and prominent as the one that went before. We're seeing the likes of real world token or real world asset tokenization, and many other things. The blurring of the lines between traditional finance and decentralized finance are starting to get muddied effectively as we see more and more of a transition to using and leveraging cryptocurrencies, particularly Hedera, because a lot of those native efficiencies. Interesting tweet here from 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗥, and of course a response from Christian Hasker. I think it's one that's rather pertinent to cover in a video, because there's a lot of people that sometimes get confused with how a strong cryptocurrency project should be run. So 𝗥𝗘𝗙 here saying, does Hedera have any strategies to increase retail awareness? Genuinely curious, and I'm sure he is like many of those others that I keep seeing. Hasker's response, of course, is Hedera's focus has been and continues to be on enterprise adoption. The council provides the overall strategic direction, which is 100% the only focus that realistically Hedera should have. Should be interested in effectively scaling and building out Hedera as a place in order for things to be built and developed upon. Nothing else. hbar, the token itself, is of course there to help facilitate things being built on top of the network. Credible then, of course, as well, summarizes this really well, and I completely agree with everything that gets said. Of course, this being their stance from day one, a ton of people always go into this the wrong way, asking, how are they bringing awareness for the underlying token? The newsflash, though, is that Hedera's job is not to market hbar and pump the token's price so that speculators can profit. Hedera's job is to market Hedera, the network first itself, and then if it's successful, usage and adoption of hbar would follow naturally as a result, because of course it's there to facilitate usage of the network. One is effectively a derivative of the other. Marketing hbar to retail has never been and shouldn't be Hedera's mission or goal. And of course, 𝗟𝗟𝗏 would 100% be in alignment with this 100-year vision. It's all around Hedera first, and of course, hbar is a byproduct of the Hedera network. Speaking of which as well, we've seen some more interesting stuff come out from Salana recently. This was a comment on Brandon's video. So Salana is currently under attack from bots arbitraging meme coins. How would Hedera protect itself from a similar attack? You seem to be encouraging meme coins. I can't for the life of me think why. Quickly touching on that though as well, I would completely encourage meme coins. Completely agree with Brandon's take on this. There's many reasons as to why, but of course utilization of the network, testing infrastructure, and there's tons of things, but it's a really good response from Hedera for meme coins attract capital. It's another good reason. Arbitraging meme coins is definitely not an attack. It's simply using the network, and of course it generates fees, which everyone wants. I'm guessing the Salana ecosystem considers it an attack because the network is being negatively impacted by it, which I think is probably spot on. Hedera, of course, wouldn't be, and it would welcome the revenue and, of course, the transactions. If we went above 10k TPS, the throttle could be lifted. There's also congestion pricing at very high ranges. If the volume was then still hitting the upper bounds, prioritization of things like sharding and hastening the path to unlimited scaling for Hedera network, which of course has always been planned. If a platform claiming near unlimited scaling considers normal network use an attack and not welcomed use case as well as the volume, that would of course be a red flag. We've touched in the past in terms of real world transactions on Hedera, the throughput that we currently see versus the likes of transactions and how they're counted on Salana. They are not one and the same. Anyway, let's jump across then and look at this new sort of news flash release from Bank Social, which of course are a use case being developed on Hedera. You can see they're built on Hedera in the bottom of this image. If you know what DEREC is, we've got huge news. If you don't know what DEREC is, then don't worry, we can explain it. So check out their latest blog on Secura's DEREC here. Of course, I covered DEREC in the past. It's something that Lehman has spoken about, and it is a massive game changer for cryptocurrency as a whole. This is being piloted or developed on Hedera, I guess. The sort of use case itself is built on top of Hedera, but decentralized recovery is something that is completely pivotal for the entirety of cryptocurrencies, regardless, or being effectively chain agnostic, because we need it as a solution in order to onboard the masses. Take a quick look at their Medium article then. I'll have a quick read through because it is a very, very good summary of what the problem is and how they have a novel approach to decentralized recovery. If you talk to someone who knows what decentralized recovery or DEREC is, they get excited. But for those who don't know about it, what actually is DEREC? To start, let's address or give or take conundrum that's been part of the crypto space for a long time. Custodial is great until they lose your money, or unless they lose your money and assets. Of course, they're talking about exchanges here. And self-custody, i.e. your own wallets, are great until you lose your own keys. Which is the better of the solutions? What if you could keep your money and assets but never lose your keys? Of course, that is the ultimate solution. Decentralized recovery, put simply, is the ability for you to recover your wallet's keys without ever giving any other party access to them. They do this, or you can achieve this, by breaking up your key into pieces. Each piece is then individually encrypted, and those encrypted pieces are stored separately with multiple other parties. This allows people to recall those encrypted pieces of information from the other parties and reconstruct the entire key without ever being given full access. As a note for the crypto savvy, this works on all chains. Over here at Bank Social, this technology makes us wildly excited. It's the perfect complement to our self-custody wallet, as well as our ethos. We have perfect places to spread your encrypted key pieces, credit unions. So of course, Bank Social are going to be leveraging the credit unions they've got to try and implement a form of DEREC. There are literally no better places to store them with the original analog DeFi solution of credit unions. They are proud to be the first commercial provider and founding member of the DEREC Alliance, which of course I covered in the past. 𝗟𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗥𝗔𝗟𝗦 is a member, Hedera as well. Secure DEREC, our decentralized recovery solution built on Hedera, of course, is part of our peace of mind suite of secure features coming next. To tell you more, our CEO will send me to the gulag, but trust me, it's going to be incredible. And of course, there's a link here to learn more about the DEREC Alliance. We see Hedera and 𝗟𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗥𝗔𝗟𝗦 joined forces at the start of this year. And of course, there was more information at the tail end of last year. This is something that is incredibly pertinent to the cryptocurrency sphere, and a very exciting movement, which will definitely revolutionize cryptocurrency adoption if it becomes mainstream. It literally solves many, many problems of mass adoption. Anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment if you've got something to say, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.